So I guess I'm Dr. David Stewart-Watson, and then if you want the letters bits, MB, CHB, HONS, MSc. But you can also stick captain at the front for a change if you fancy it.
Why is that?
So I'm also in the reserves, and I'm a kind of reserve officer. I haven't really used captain very much because I'm quite recently joined and not served particularly long. Probably doctor. People seem to have more interactions with the medical profession than the military, so they might have a bit more of an awareness.
How did you two meet, out of interest?
It depends if you want the story you tell the grandparents or the story you tell normally. So when Granny asked, I said we met playing squash at university. Most people I say we met on a pub golf.
Through squash?
Through squash,
Through
on a pub
squash.
golf, fairly heavy night out. I think it was probably fairly early on in the night.
Beginning. I can't remember what it was. Drinking a pint, probably.
Yeah, I think so. Because it was in the Fox and Duck at the beginning of the night.
How recently did you just get a house?
A month.
3 weeks.
So we lived together for almost 2 years, and then we bought our house a month ago, which is really exciting.
David, how do you feel about being the latest doctor in the family?
It's an honour.
I think you're glad that we won't change.
There's a lot of doctors.
You're glad that you get to keep your surname if we ever get married, aren't you? One too many Dr. Bunns,
can't,
maybe.
Yeah, can't be having too many more Dr. Bunns.
What is your surname, actually? I don't actually know.
So it's Stewart-Watson, so it's kind of hyphenated in my mum's and my dad's.
I like that more than Bunn, I think.
The idea would be to shorten it, and then we could be Dr. Watson, and that would be cool.
So the first time I went to Sophie's house, I can't remember, but it had been a long day, and we turned up, and Matt had a long day at work, and he came back and had some question about the patient that he had just seen and was very excited about that. And it was very helpfully that we'd had lectures on that day, so I was able to get the question right, which I think
You were
always
quite
kind
proud of yourself, weren't
set
you?
me in good stead.
I don't think it necessarily takes away from the intimidation, does it? Because you kind of almost have, because everyone else knows so much about medicine, there's a kind of an expectation that we will also know everything that everyone's talking about and be able to make intelligent comment about it. I don't know, sometimes that's actually quite intimidating in itself, because there's that expectation of what you should know as one of the medics in the family, and I think there's quite a discrepancy between medicine now versus medicine from my parents' generation, and that can sometimes be quite interesting, trying to explore the differences between what being a junior on the ward is like now versus being a consultant in a specialist field or being a GP, and what training was like then and now.
What are some of the big differences, do you think?
Probably hours and how the on-calls used to work back in the day. They used to work much longer hours than we did, so there's always a bit of like, oh, back in my day, we used to work 100-hour weeks and we did this, and we probably don't quite do as many, but I think it's probably different intensity now. I remember when at the start of the pandemic and I was on the respiratory ward, and Dad said to me, how on earth do you manage with needing so many oxygen bottles on the ward to cope with the patients that have so much oxygen requirement with COVID? And I was like, Dad, oxygen comes out the pipes and the walls now, like we don't ship them around in bottles anymore. And there's just quite a lot that's changed since our parents were kind of younger doctors, I think. And
what are your plans for the future?
So I'm staying on in Nottingham for a bit longer, there until the summer, there until the kind of February time, and then hopefully have a bit of time off and go climbing, and then so I'm currently working in intensive care, which I really enjoy, so I'm probably going to carry on doing that for a few more years, but it's finding a way of doing that not full time and kind of mixing in doing some of the army stuff and trying to spend as much time climbing as I can.
Brilliant. Well,
yeah.
that's probably enough, to be honest.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.